do some short stretching exercises to open up the body. Breathing into the left side channel, left side body. And releasing. Turn up the left inner arm, just pat the left part of the inner arm, opening up some meridians, open up the lungs and the heart and the chest. So we do our 9-round breathing exercise. So with the left index finger, we close the right nostril, breathe in through the left nostril, down through the left side channel, under the belly button, finger moves to the other side, into the right side channel, we exhale any desires, any attachments, any clinging in the form of black smoke. Black smoke rises up into the air, turns to clouds of silver and gold. Those clouds of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings, and releasing a gentle rain of golden and silver nectar from the heavens above. So we'll do this together 3 times. So we'll do the other side with the right index finger. We close the left nostril, breathe in white light through the right nostril, down to the right side channel. Under the belly button, the finger moves to the other side, and through the left side channel, we exhale any anger, any hatred, any aversion, any mental lawsuits, any resentment in the form of black smoke. Black smoke rises up into the air, turns to clouds of silver and gold. Those clouds of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings, and releasing a gentle rain of golden and silver nectar from the heavens above. So again, we do this together 3 times. Last round, we breathe in white light through both nostrils, down through both side channels. They meet at the central channel, and at the central channel, we exhale any ignorance, any obstacles to practicing the path, any obstacles to connecting with our teachers, any obscurations, anything that gets in the way of our daily practice. We exhale all of that in the form of black smoke. Black smoke leaves through both nostrils, rises up into the air, turns to clouds of silver and gold. And those clouds of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings, and releasing a gentle rain of golden and silver nectar from the heavens above. So as always, we want to try and inhale as evenly as possible and exhale as evenly as possible. So do this together 3 times. So imagine that we're at the center of a circle, and around us are infinite circles expanding out as far as our minds can imagine. Each circle filled with sentient beings from all 6 realms, from the hungry ghost realm, from the demon realm, from the hell realm, from the human realm, from the God realm. Sentient beings that we've had a connection with since beginningless time, regardless of how they may appear to us in this lifetime. They've been our dearest parents, children's, co-workers, friends, partners, and so on and so forth since beginningless time. So as we engage in this practice this morning, we do so with 3 motivations. On one level, to engage in this practice, to purify all the negative karma that we've accumulated since beginningless time. On a second level, to purify all this negative karma so that we may have the best possible rebirth in our next lifetime. And then the next lifetime after that, and the next lifetime after that. And then ultimately, our third motivation is to engage in this practice to purify all our negative karma so we may realize enlightenment as quickly as possible and be of service to all these sentient beings around us. So that we may serve all the hungry ghosts, all the demons, all the hell realm beings, all the animals, all the humans, all the God realm beings. So we may serve them in whatever way is most appropriate to their minds. So with the Buddha heart, Buddha eyes, and Buddha minds, we can cut through any surface appearances and illusions. We have no fear when we engage with a hungry ghost. We have no fear when we engage with a hell realm being. We have no fear when we engage with a demon or God realm being or human or animal. We just experience bliss, perfect, pure bliss, unconditional love for all these beings, wishing them to experience the Buddha mind, Buddha heart as quickly as possible, and offering them whatever they need, whatever is most appropriate to their minds. Serving unconditionally each and every sentient being around us. So now Vajrasattva appears in the center of our rooms, the center of our living room, of our bedrooms, wherever we're practicing this morning. In front of us, he's hovering a couple feet off the ground, radiating with light, beaming with joy, happy to be here to help us this morning, happy that we're doing this practice week in and week out. So anytime we need any help, anytime we need any assistance throughout the practice this morning, he is here to help us. And as always, truly feel his presence before you. So truly feel his energetic body in front of you. He's not a figment of our imagination. He's not just an illusion in our minds. Truly feel the presence of Vajrasattva in front of each one of us. Radiating with light, wearing beautiful golden silk robes, wearing a wonderful golden crown and wonderful golden bracelets, and just smiling, and his eyes filled with light, his body radiating with light. So just feel his presence, relieving any tension, any weights that are in our hearts and our minds, even just lifting up the energy in the home, just filling with light, with happiness, with joy. And so with that, we'll move to the mantra recitations before the practice. And we'll start with the Shakyamuni Buddha mantra. Tayata o muni muni maha munaye soha. Tayata o muni muni maha munaye soha. Tayata o muni muni maha munaye soha. I'll do the multiplying mantra next. Om Namo Manjushriye, Nama Sushriye, Nama Uttama Shriye Soha. Om Namo Manjushriye, Nama Sushriye, Nama Uttama Shriye Soha. Om Namo Manjushriye, Namasu Shriye, Nama Uttama Shriye. So then we'll do the Guru Shakyamuni prayer in Tibetan. Lama Tompa Chomden De Jing Shek Padra Chompa Yang Dark Bars Okpe Sangi Pel Gyewa Shakya Tupala Chag Salo Chedo Kapsu Chiwo Jingi La Tu So Lama Tompa Chomden De Jing Shek Padra Chompa Yang Dark Bars Okpe Sangi Pel Gyewa Shakya Tupala Chag Salo Chedo Kyapsu Chiwo Jingi Laptu So Lama Tompa Chomden De Shing Shek Padra Chompa Yang Dark Bars Okpe Sangi Pel Gyewa Shakya Tupala Chag Salo Chedo Kyapsu Chiwo Jingi Laptu So. And we'll move to the practice. And we'll start on page 2 with doing refuge. So I take refuge in sublime, precious three jewels. I will liberate all sentient beings and lead them to enlightenment. Thus, perfectly do I generate bodhicitta. I take refuge in the sublime and precious three jewels. I will liberate all sentient beings and lead them to enlightenment. Thus, perfectly do I generate bodhicitta. I take refuge in the sublime, precious three jewels. I will liberate all sentient beings and lead them to enlightenment. Thus, perfectly do I generate bodhicitta. So we recite the four measurables. As always, as we recite the four measurables, just see these prayers leaving our tongues, leaving our mouths, and going out and touching the hearts and minds of all sentient beings around us. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. And may all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment, and for friends and hatred for enemies. So we recite seven limb prayer. Reverently, I prostrate my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. So we'll do the short mandala offering at the top of page 3. As always, it's an opportunity to offer gratitude to all the Buddhas for their kindness in keeping these teachings alive, and also to request them to continue to pass these teachings down to us and all sentient beings throughout the ages until we realize enlightenment. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niyataya. So I'll read on with the power of regret. So recollect with deep regret the specific negativities that we've each created And then meditate deeply on the meaning of the following. The negative karma that we've accumulated since beginningless time is as extensive as the treasury of a great king. Although each negative action leads to countless eons of suffering, it seems that we're constantly striving to create nothing but negative actions. Even though we're trying to avoid non-virtue and practice positive acts day and night without respite, negativities and moral downfalls come to us like rainfall. We lack the ability to purify these faults so that no trace of them remains. With these negative imprints still in our minds, we could suddenly die and find ourselves falling to an unfortunate rebirth. What can we do? Please, Vajrasattva, with your great compassion, guide us from such misery. Remembering impermanence and death. Many people our age or younger have died. It's a miracle that we're still alive and have this incredible opportunity to purify our negative karma. Death is certain, but its time is most uncertain. If we were to die right now, we would definitely be born in the lower realms. Because we couldn't practice Dharma there, we'd remain in the lower realms for countless eons. Therefore, how unbelievably fortunate we are to be able to purify our negative karma right now, without even a second's delay, by practicing this Vajrasattva meditation recitation. So let's take a moment to rejoice at this amazing opportunity that we have this morning to purify our negative karma, to engage in a practice like this. Just to even know that a practice like this is available to us to help relieve our hearts, relieve our minds of any weights they may have. Generating bodhicitta. But we're not practicing this Vajrasattva purification for ourselves alone. The purpose of our lives is to release all hell beings, pretas, animals, humans, asuras, suras, and intermediate state beings from all their suffering, its causes, and lead them to unsurpassed enlightenment. In order to do this, we must first reach enlightenment ourselves. Therefore, we must purify all our negative karma immediately by practicing this Vajrasattva meditation recitation. So again, just reflect and meditate upon this bodhicitta motivation of engaging in this practice for the benefit of all sentient beings around us from all 6 realms. Even though some of these sentient beings may be moving between realms, perhaps a hungry ghost in the 2nd row is being reborn as an animal, perhaps a demon in the 5th row is heading towards rebirth in the God realms. Still, until they've purified their mind, they've not realized enlightenment. So they may shift as we shift between realms from lifetime to lifetime, and things may improve and continue to improve. But until they realize the true nature of their minds, they're not free. It's the same for us. So remembering this altruistic motivation throughout the practice this morning of reaching as deeply as possible to purify as much negative karma so that we may realize enlightenment as quickly as possible and serve others in the best way as quickly as possible. So Vajrasattva is still in front of us. Visualize light radiating in all directions from the home of Vajrasattva's heart, requesting the Buddhas bestow their blessings. They accept the request and send white rays of light and nectar, the essence of which is the knowledge of their body, speech, and mind. This light and nectar falls like a rain of milk and is absorbed into the home mantra garland in Vajrasattva's heart, filling his holy body completely. They enhance the magnificence of his appearance and increase the brilliance of the mantra until it shines with the light of 100,000 moons, reflecting off snowy mountains. So we're still surrounded by limitless circles of sentient beings from all 6 realms, feeling great warmth in our hearts to engage in this practice this morning, to be of benefit to ourselves and to be of benefit to all sentient beings around us, serving them unconditionally with open hearts, open minds. Vajrasattva is still in front of us. So we'll do 3 rounds of purification and we'll do 21 recitations of the mantra. First round, purifying non-virtues of body, then non-virtues of speech, and non-virtues of mind. So for the first round, Vajrasattva emits a light from his heart, which rises up into the air, enters the crown chakra, flows down into the head, purifying the brain and the whole nervous system, and the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the third eye, flowing down through all the endocrine system, and flowing down to the rest of our heads, our mouths, our throats, down into our chest, down into the arms, down to the hands, the fingers, down through the core of the body, purifying our hearts, our lungs, opening up our rib cage, flowing down along the vertebrae and the spinal cord, opening up the kidneys and purifying our kidneys, and then to the liver and the pancreas and the gallbladder and diaphragm and the stomach and digestive system and the bladder, and down to the reproductive organs, down into our hips, purifying our hip sockets, down through our thighs, opening up our thighs and releasing any energy that's any difficult emotions that may be stored there. Flowing down through our knees, purifying our knees, healing our knees, down through the shins, down through the ankles, and out through the soles of our feet. So as we receive this healing, purifying, warm light through the body, it opens up all the physical body and all the auric body. I'll feel all the cells opening up, releasing any non-virtues they're holding on to, any negative karma they're holding on to. Any energy stuck in the auric field is also releasing and dissolving, starting to flow again. All that negativity falls to the ground, turns to rivers of silver and gold. Those rivers of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to all sentient beings around us. From the heavens above, we continue to receive that gentle rain of golden and silver nectar. And with that, we recite the mantra together out loud 21 times. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hum, ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sarva tathagata, vajramame munsa, Vajrabhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sarva tathagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava maha samaya sattva ahom pet. Om vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva denopatita, diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum, ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sarva tathagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava maha samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva denopatita, diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sarva tathagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava maha samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva denopatita, diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sarva tathagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava maha samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva denopatita, diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sarva tathagata, vajramame munsa, Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pad. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru ho. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarva siddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahom pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bhava sarva siddhi me prayatsa sarva karma sutsa me citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho. Bhagavan sarva tattagata vajrama me munsa vajrabhava ma samaya sattva ahum pet. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Dito me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiddhi me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho, Bhagavan, sarvatattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahum. Four more. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva denopatita. Dito me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiddhi me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame, citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ha ho, Bhagavan, sarvatattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahum pet. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva denopatita. Dito me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiddhi me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame, citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ho, Bhagavan, sarvatattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahum. Last two. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva denopatita. Dito me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiddhi me prayatsa, sarvakarma sutsame, citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha ho, Bhagavan, sarvatattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahum. The last one. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva denopatita. Dito me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiddhi me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, citam shriyam kuru hum. Ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, sarva tattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhavama samaya sattva ahum pet. So for the next round, we focus on purifying non-virtues of speech. These include lying, gossip, divisive speech, and harsh speech. So light comes from Vajrasattva's heart and enters the soles of our feet. So we're going to go from the bottom to the top this time. Light rises up into the ankles, purifying the energy that's stuck there. The light rises up into the shins, up into our knees, purifying the energy that's stuck there, and rising up through our thighs, up into the pelvis, and purifying an energy that's stuck in our pelvis, then rising up through the reproductive organs, the digestive system, the stomach, and the bladder, and the diaphragm, and the gallbladder, and the pancreas, and the liver, up into the core of the body to the kidneys, rising up through the spinal cord and the vertebrae, rising up to the upper chest, to the rib cage, to the lungs, to the hearts, rising up into the shoulders, down through the arms, down through our hands, down through our fingers, rising up to the throat chakra, purifying our throat chakra, rising up into our mouths, purifying our mouths, our tongues, and our teeth, and our gums, and any unhealthy speech patterns that may be in our mouths. Rising up into the rest of the head, purifying the rest of the head, the nose, the eyes, the ears, purifying the brain and the whole nervous system and the endocrine system, and the third eye and the pituitary gland and pineal gland, rising up through the crown chakra, then bubbling up into the sky. So as we receive this healing, purifying light, reaching all points of the physical body from the bone marrow up to the surface skin and all the bones and the muscles and the organs and so on and so forth, and also cleansing all aspects of the aura. It pushes out all non-virtues of speech in the form of black tar. Black tar falls to the ground, turns to rivers of silver and gold, Those rivers of silver and gold flow out into the world, bringing blessings to each other and all sentient beings. From the heavens above, we can continue to receive that gentle rain of golden and silver nectar. So with that, we recite the mantra again 21 more times. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Tiro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Diro me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakta me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsame Sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama me munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Vet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanupatita. Dito me bawa, Sukao me bawa, Sukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Stam Shim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajrama me Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahum Vet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanupatita. Dito me bawa, Sukao me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Stam Shim Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajrama me Munsa Vajrabhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom. 5 more. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Dito me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajrama me Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanupatita. Dito me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajrama me Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanupatita. Dito me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajrama me Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dhanupatita. Dito me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajrama me Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom. The last one. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita. Dito me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Sutsame, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajrama me Munsa Vajrabhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. The last round, we focus on purifying non-virtues of mind. These include covetousness, wrong view, and ill will. Vajrasattva emits a light from his heart, which expands out, filling our rooms with light, dissolving our physical bodies, auric bodies into pure, limitless light. The light expands out, dissolving our homes into pure light, our apartment buildings into pure, limitless light, enveloping the land around our homes, the land around our apartments into pure light. And then dissolving our cities into limitless pure light, and dissolving our states into limitless pure light, and dissolving our countries into limitless pure light, dissolving our planet into limitless pure light, dissolving our galaxy into limitless pure light, and dissolving all galaxies beyond our galaxy into limitless pure light. And then it's just dissolving the whole universe into limitless pure light. So our experience becomes one of pure, clear light, limitless in all ways, expansive in all ways. So this is the ultimate nature of our minds, pure, clear light consciousness, no beginning, no end. Limitless in all ways, in all times, in all realms. So allow yourselves to fully expand out into that pure, unlimited version of yourself, a pure, unlimited light version of yourself with no beginning, no end, no limitations, no restrictions. Just allowed to exist and abide in all ways and all times with unconditional heart, unconditional compassion, unconditional generosity, unconditional love, unconditional compassion, unconditional patience, unconditional generosity, unconditional altruism. Nothing can stand in the way of that. No person, no physical obstacle, no nothing. So as we abide in this pure, clear light mind state, as we abide in our pure Buddha mind state, we recite the mantra together out loud 21 more times. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Supokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha ha ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Ped Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa Sutokayo me bawa Supokayo me bawa Anarakto me bawa Sarva Siddhi me prayatsa Sarva karma sutsamet sitam shriyam kuru ho. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiri me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakta me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata vajramame munsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajrama me munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma subsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, vajramame munsa, vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom ped. 5 more. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva denopatita. Diro me bawa, sutokayo me bawa, supokayo me bawa, anarakto me bawa, sarvasiti me prayatsa, sarva karma sutsame, sitam shriyam kuru hom. Ha ha ho bhagavan sarva tattagata, Vajramame Mumsa, Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dhanapatita, Dito me boa, Subhaka me boa, Subhaka me boa, Narakta me boa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Stame, Stam Shim Kuru Hum, Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sarvatathagata, Vajramame Mumsa, Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dhanapatita, Tiro me boa, Sutukao me boa, Subukao me boa, Narakta me boa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarvakarma Stame, Stam Shim Kuru Hum, Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Two more. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dido me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anarakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarva Karma Sutsa me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramame Munsa Vajrabhavama Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopatita Dito me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anurakto me bawa, Sarvasiti me prayatsa, Sarva Karma Sutsa me Citam Shriyam Kuru Hum. Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Mumsa Vajrabhavamaha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pet. It's generating faith in having been purified. From the crown of our heads, Guru Vajrasattva says, sons and daughters of the race, your negativities, obscurations, and broken and damaged vows and pledges have been completely purified. So generate strong faith that these have all been purified, as Guru Vajrasattva has said. And as always, take a moment to rejoice and pat yourselves on your backs for your hard work this morning. So we'll start to wind up the practice with the power of restraint at the bottom of page 5, or in the middle of page 5. Before Guru Vajrasattva, I vow never again to commit those negative actions from which I can easily abstain, not to commit for a day, an hour, at least a few seconds, those negative actions from which I find it difficult to abstain. So Guru Vajrasattva is extremely pleased with our pledges. So I'm going to go back a step, sorry. So this is where we invite Vajrasattva to settle in at our hearts, if that's comfortable, and otherwise we can invite Vajrasattva to sit next to us and help us that way. So Guru Vajrasattva is extremely pleased with our pledges. He dissolves into light, rises up into the air, enters through the crown chakra, and settles in at our hearts. Our body, speech, and mind become inseparably one with Guru Vajrasattva's holy body, speech, and mind. So when we finish the practice this morning, we have Vajrasattva at our hearts, so we have Vajrasattva sitting next to us. Anytime we need his assistance, his help, his guidance, we can ask him for help. And then also just take a moment again to rejoice at this amazing blessing of having this amazing Buddha available at a moment's notice to help us, to guide us, to purify any negative karma if we engage in these situations where we generate any non-virtues of mind or speech or action. So just take a moment to rejoice and celebrate this amazing, amazing blessing. So we'll do the meditation on emptiness at the bottom of page 5. In emptiness, there is no I, creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. There is no negative karma created. So place your minds in emptiness for a while. In this way, see all phenomena as empty of inherent existence. They do not exist from their own side. Remembering that everything is dependent arising, everything arises out of cause and effect. And even those situations that seem very concretized, seem to go on forever, as just many moments of cause and effects. And because of that, we can engage in practices like these, and like prostrations to the 35 Buddhas to purify any and all negative karma that we accumulate. So with our understanding of emptiness, we dedicate the merits. May the precious bodhicitta, the source of all happiness and success for myself and other sentient beings, be generated within my own mind, the minds of all sentient beings, without even a second's delay. And may that which has been generated only be increased. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra realize things as they are, I dedicate all these virtues in the best way that I may follow after them. Whatever dedication the 3-time victorious ones gone to bliss of admirers best, in the same way, I also perfectly dedicate all these roots of virtue so that I may perform good works. We'll recite the long life prayer for His Holiness. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good, all powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso. Please remain until samsara ends. Recite the long life prayer for Lama Zopa. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Majjhanat's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers, honoring the 3 jewels, savior of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. We extend the blessings of the practice this morning to all sentient beings across the planet whose lives have been impacted by COVID. We share this practice with all sentient beings who are in need of a karma purification practice, and may this practice arise in whatever way is most appropriate to their minds, in whatever culture and whatever tradition, spiritual tradition is most appropriate to their minds. And we extend the blessings of this practice to all sentient beings in Ukraine and Russia and in Eastern Europe who have been impacted by the tensions there. May this, by extending blessings of the practice this morning to that region, may no war arise, may the conflict de-escalate, and may peace arise in the minds and the hearts of all sentient beings in those regions. Cool. So thanks everybody for joining. Sorry for starting on the wrong channel this morning.